Today's friend's Karina Núñez. What's up,
Nice.
Karina?
What's up?
What, off the bat, is a couple things you do? Not like who are you, but what kind of passions, you know?
Well, fitness obviously is one of them. Right now, I'm a trainer, and I work at Lifetime in Princeton. I've been a trainer for like 6 years, I think, something like that. And I really love that. But I also love to like be outdoors and just like I haven't done a lot of things. Like, I like adrenaline stuff. So for example, like I would like to do skydiving or stuff like that. So I do like all of that stuff. Haven't done it yet, but I will one day. But yeah, pretty much that's it. I do like art, but I don't really like practice it that much. But I do like enjoy it, like painting and stuff like that.
Painting,
Yeah, there you go.
It's like therapy.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I love running. Like running is very therapeutic for me. You like running?
Yeah. But how much do we like it? Like we like it and hate it, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do it, but
Yeah, I feel like before, like I would feel like, oh, like I don't want to do this, but I have to, and I don't do that anymore. Like more like now, if I run, it's because I just feel like running and I want to run.
yeah, it's not like a discipline thing.
It's not. Yeah, I don't do that anymore with running.
Right.
Unless I have maybe like a specific goal and like running just like would help me get to that goal, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's more like of an enjoyable thing for me. Yeah.
So you don't run in the cold.
I don't. Oh, I don't.
Right.
I know. We haven't even been on our run. I remember
know.
you saying like, "Let's go for a run." I'm like, "Yeah, like." Get
Yeah.
back to you in the spring because I don't like running in the cold.
It's not enjoyable.
No,
No.
definitely not.
But are you still with your workouts, like lifting? Are you still disciplined? More so, you won't run if you don't feel like it, right? But with your workouts, you'll push through more so.
Yeah, with
Because
my
those are more
weightlifting?
scheduled. Yeah, with
Yes.
weightlifting.
Yeah, I'm more like structured with my weightlifting. I feel like I want to be even more structured with it, but that's something that I keep up with the most. I do want to start running again, but I like running outdoors. Actually, I've been running now on the skill mill. I actually love the skill mill.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Skill mill.
So
We'll tell people what a skill mill, how
it's like a
different,
self-motored treadmill.
right? Yeah.
Every time I have people go on it, they're like, "Whoa, like what is this?" I'm like, "It's like a hamster wheel. You know, you control it."
is.
Because then they'll start going really fast, and then they're like, "Why is this going so fast?" And then you just have to remind them you control it. But the skill mill is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it better than the treadmill. Definitely, yeah.
You do. You put clients to warm up on the skill mill?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if they're late, because I need them to like get their heart
come
rate
on.
up quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I do that.
Do you have any clients that run as a warm up?
Yeah, I actually had a client that I haven't seen him in a while, but like he would do like 30-minute running warm up,
That's
which
a
is
warm-up.
extensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never like said anything or corrected him about it because if it's something that he enjoys doing, because it seems like he enjoys going for that amount of time, like running prior to his lifting. So I just let him be,
He'll get there early and do his 30 minutes.
Yeah, he'll get and he was like a 6 a.m. So like he would
Yeah.
be there like at 5-ish and then like 30 minutes and then.
And still give you a good workout?
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good. Like he likes pushing himself a lot, which is cool.
Those are fun,
Yeah,
right?
those are fun. Yeah.
You don't have a lot of those always.
Yeah, no, he's great. But other than him, who else? I think he was like the one that would run the most in the beginning. Other than that, not really. Like jogs like for 10 minutes or so,
Yeah.
maybe less.
Yeah. What's the importance of a proper warm up?
Well, if they don't warm up, it's kind of like, well, anybody, if you don't warm up, it's kind of like you don't deserve the workout. Like you want to make sure that you prepare your body to what's coming, right? So first you want to get your heart rate up, and it just like mentally prepares you for the weight you're going to be lifting, or like if you're going to be sprinting, you want to make sure you're jogging in the beginning first. You don't want to just go straight into it because you're going to end up hurting yourself, or you're going to end up feeling like sick or something,
Yeah, definitely. It's like prepping for the
Yeah.
warm up, right?
Exactly, yeah. Warm-ups and like stretching is so important. I actually recently, like I wasn't really stretching after my workouts, and like I started feeling it in my body a lot. And it's just like, you know, as trainers, like sometimes like we'll say things and like we won't do what we preach.
Ourselves,
Yeah,
yeah.
ourselves. So I'm
We're like,
just
no, we got it, but you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'll be like, well, kind of like, yeah, it's very important that you stretch every time. Like I'll, you know, make emphasis on it, and then I'm over here like done with my workout, like go downstairs and just like get changed, and then, you know, on to the next client or just leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's not good for you, and it catches up. Like you think you can get away with it for a while, but then like it does catch up onto you. So
Yeah, you don't do it until you're hurting. Then it's like, oh wait,
Yeah,
you know what
no.
I mean? Because if there's not something like triggering you for pain, you're like, I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
But you're not.
No, yeah, no. Like
You just don't know.
My back was just like bothering me recently. And I was just like, yeah, I have to stretch because I'm too young to be going through these like back pains and stuff. And like I want to still continue to lift heavy. And that's the thing, right? Like that's why it's so important to warm up, because you need to prepare your body for what you're going to lift. Because if you're just hurting yourself, then on the long run, you know, like you're not going to be able to lift. And if it's something you enjoy, then that's why you got to be preventive about it.
Yeah, I feel like young people, like people our age, don't think about wanting to lift and exercise into their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Right? Like it's not something we think about because we're only focused on like now's workouts. But you're probably going to want to do the exercises you enjoy to do, like running and lifting heavy, in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, right?
Right.
And if you're getting injured in your late 20s,
Right.
it's going to make it hard.
Screwing yourself up, yeah, for later.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I think that's one of my biggest fears. Like, I would never want to get hurt to the point where, like, oh, I can't, like, deadlift anymore. I can't, I don't know. I just feel like I'm always going to be lifting for the rest of my life. So I just, you know, I have people that I know that they'll be like, yeah, I used to, like, go super hard and, like, I busted, like, my knees or, like, my quads hurting or, like, my back or whatever. And it's just kind of like, yikes. Like, I don't want that happening
You don't want
to
that.
me.
I
Yeah.
know. But running feels good, right? Because that's a cool mix. I've done it too for a while. The running and then like you're trying to lift heavy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, so I think I've done, like, I'll run in the beginning. Sometimes I feel like, because I don't take pre-workout, so I feel like running is like my pre-workout. You know, like it just gives me like a pump on the skill mill though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, wait, I just lost my train of thought.
Do you take coffee?
I do drink coffee, yeah.
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 So it's
Just-
kind of your pre-workout. That's my pre-workout.
Yeah, that's my pre-workout. I don't know how. I think I've only taken pre-workout like once, and it was more because they were insisting that I would take it. They were like, "Come on, like just try it." And I'm just kind of like, I feel like it didn't do anything to me. I don't know if I just didn't drink enough of it. I don't know.
It didn't work.
I don't know. I just felt the same. I was just like, it's whatever.
Oh.
I don't know. Just rather just kind of like rely on my own energy. Honestly, sometimes I don't have energy to work out, and like I'll be very drained, or like I just slept really bad, or I didn't eat enough, or whatever, and I'm just like not mentally in it. But I still push myself to work out because I know I'm gonna feel better after I do it.
Yeah.
But I'm like dreading it, and sometimes I think, oh, okay, so this is why people use pre-workout, you know. But even then, like I just don't feel like taking it.
Yeah.
I'll just like push through.
Yeah, that's a good point. I drink coffee in the morning, but like a little bit, and then I'll work out. I'll go through my day and drink a little more. But when I fasted to give blood the other day, I didn't drink my coffee in the morning, and I went to the gym like super early, like I do. And I was like, is this what people feel like when they come to the gym
Like
super
lethargic?
early? Yeah, like your head hurts, like you're tired.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's why people hate the gym.
You're like, no wonder.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
no
coffee
wonder.
was helping you the whole time.
Coffee helps.
Yeah, I do it both. Like I can do it like without coffee, without caffeine, or like having caffeine. So,
You can do both.
Yeah, I can do both.
Yeah, but the running kind of like amps you up, your body,
Yes.
physiologically, like gets you going.
Yes. So it depends what I'm gonna do. Like for example, if I do upper body, I'll run because it just like I feel like upper body should. I mean, I don't. it's not that long of a workout, so I feel like I can still do more. You know, like my body just feels, whereas when I do legs, I'm like beat. I'm like, all right, like this was long enough. Like
Takes
I'm good.
a while too, right?
Yeah. So running and upper body are kind of like the ones that I couple the most. Yeah.
But with legs, you'll do like a lighter warm up.
Yeah, with legs, I'll do a lighter warm up. It depends. Like sometimes I'll just do like incline walk on the treadmill for like 8 minutes just to like stretch like the hamstrings and like the calves and glutes and everything. It depends because sometimes like I'm even lazy just to do like the warm up on the treadmill. So I'll go straight to the squat rack and then I'll just foam roll. I'll do some like dynamic warm ups, just like squats with the bar alone. Like a bunch of different movements that are still prepping me. Actually, I'll do the skill mill too because you know how it's curved, right?
Yeah.
So I like experimenting with it. So I'll step on it like in different like in different places and in different angles, and like I'll kind of feel like what muscles are being activated as I'm doing that. And like everything makes a difference. Like if you lean a little forward, like and you're stepping it on a certain place, like you're gonna feel it differently on your hamstring or on your glute. So it's like it's cool to feel that. So that's actually what I've been doing lately. Like I'll go 3 minutes on it just to like activate my lower body, and then I'll go into like the more like dynamic ones at the squat rack.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes, or like if I'm like running short on time, I won't do like the 8-minute warm up in the beginning with incline walking. And I like it. It's good. I like using that curve at the top, like because it's like kind of like rounded. So the more you step on it, it's a different feel.
Yeah. Depending on where you step on it, depends on the speed, kind of, right? You can gain more speed from stepping on different places.
Right. And then you can add resistance to it, right?
Yeah.
So when you add resistance to it, then like kind of feels like you're strength training on it. Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, it does. Do you, for your demographic of clients, do you have a third of your clients that are inexperienced, like a third that are intermediate, and like a third are advanced? Do you have more clients that are new to the gym and weightlifting and weight loss?
Yes, I feel like I have more clients that are new to it than clients that are actually experienced in it or like done it before.
Is that a challenge?
So to me, it's very easy when they're beginners, when they're new, because they like, I mean, I obviously do the basics with everybody regardless of their level. But everything just feels so new to them, you know, and it's just like, it's a lot easier for me, like to program for them or like do with them. When they've been in it for a while, like this client that I'm telling you that would do like the 30-minute run prior to his workout. Yeah. Like he's been more experienced in it. So like for me, it was more like challenging in a good way, which I liked, that I would really have to challenge him, you know, whereas like a beginner, it's easier to challenge them because it's a lot of just going through the basics.
Right. You could be like sitting back and throwing workouts at them because you know most things you throw at them will be challenging.
Yes, and then they'll be like, oh my God, like this feels great, or like, oh, this was so hard. And it's not really that, I mean, obviously for me, or like, you know, for somebody who's like been lifting for a while, it's not that hard. But whereas like sometimes like with the person who does have experience, it's just kind of like you want to challenge them because that's why they're paying you. That's why they're with you, because they want to be pushed. So you kind of have to be on top of your game and like really challenge them. And, you know, like obviously stick to the basics, but also make it entertaining at the same time, you know? So there's like a lot to like think about when you're doing that for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you feel like the people that are new to it have apprehensions to personal training? Because you might be their first personal trainer ever in their life. And that's a big step to hire someone to get you through an environment that you're new and uncomfortable in.
Honestly, I get great feedback with those that are like super new to it. Like after they go through it, they're kind of like, oh, okay, like, wow. Like, you know, like they feel so good.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I guess they go through it, and then at the end, they're kind of like, whoa, like I didn't even know I needed this, or I felt like I didn't know, you know. They aren't aware of how much they need the training, at least for knowledge purposes. Just so, that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, at least do it for a month so you can learn how to exercise. And then whether you're not here in Lifetime anymore, or you go on vacation and there's like a little gym in your hotel, like you'll know what to do because you already invested the time and energy and made the financial investment of learning how to exercise properly, you know? I also find that I get a lot of people that are like above their 40s that are starting to
Middle
feel
age,
like, yeah,
almost.
that they're like, all right, like I need to start working out. You know, so they're just starting to work out.
What's the struggle with those people? Because their bodies aren't prime, right?
Yeah, no.
They're on the decline, even if it's like mid 40s. They're not in their prime.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, like, obviously we're in the industry, right? Or we've been doing this for a long time. So for us, it's like very natural, like to exercise. And it's just like, and for me, sometimes, like, I have to remember that obviously a lot of people are still not exercising, you know? So sometimes when they can't do certain movements that to me are super basic, I'm just, honestly, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wow, like
a
it's
body
not
weight,
okay that you can't do that, you know?
body
like,
weight squat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like just leaning back and doing like this. This is like my typical one that I do for people, like, for their core, so they can like learn to
like
find
in
their
a
core.
chair?
They're like leaning back on a box. Like I put them on a box, and then they're kind of like struggling to lift their leg, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, like this is, you know, I feel like that should be a wake up call for them. Like, okay, I need to move, you know?
Usually is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing with clients that are new to exercise. You could give them wake up calls so easily, right? Like, you could put them on a leg extension machine and give them like 4 sets of 15, and they like won't. Their quads will be on fire.
Yes.
Like, oh, see, this is what happens when you don't work out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but then I have to remember, like, okay, well, you know, it's new to them, so
Yeah.
it's like me, for like, I use the analogy of me, for example, like I'm not very like I like makeup, obviously, you know, I'm a girl, but like when I go to the store for makeup, like I don't know a lot of stuff, and sometimes I'll be asking some things, and I feel like they're looking at me like, what? Like, you don't know this? You know, like, that's so basic. So it's so fun because, like, it happened to me recently. The last time that I went to the makeup store, and I think I was looking for something, and I even had to Google what it was because, like, I couldn't even explain it. And she's just looking at me like blinking, like, how do you not know that, you know?
Right.
And then I was thinking, you know what? Like, this is how people feel. Like, she's being me, and I'm being, like, a member or, like, a client. You know what I'm saying? So we all have our things that we're like,
oh yeah,
not very into, or we're just not very familiar with, and it's like you just have to be patient with it.
So you put yourself in the client shoes.
I do a
for
lot.
Makeup.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get it. Not everyone's been doing this for 10, 15
yeah,
years.
exactly. Like, I don't know all the techniques about it. Like, I want to learn more, you know.
Right.
But it's just
like they want to learn more.
Exactly.
But they don't know techniques of a deadlift with a barbell.
Exactly. No. And like, I always get the same like answer where it's like, oh, well, I was doing Zumba, or like I like to walk. There's some men that like, they're just like, oh, like I just never really worked out, like no sports, nothing. And I'm just kind of like, you know,
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like movement is so important for the body.
Definitely.
Extremely.
Medicine.
Like,
right?
it's medicine. Like, it's, I just want like everybody to exercise. Like, I'll be like, it's so funny because like I'll go to the park or something, and then if I see like this older man like jogging, I'm just kind of like, I don't say anything to him, but I'm just kind of like, you go, man.
You're like, awesome.
Yes, good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. I think sometimes when I see people running, the competitive in you goes, oh, like, I'm faster, or I was out here earlier. But then you take a step back and you're like, the fact that someone else is out there exercising, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of like to mentally race people when I'm at the park and see somebody, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pass him, and then like I'll just like do a little sprint.
That helps.
Yeah.
To have people there.
Yeah, it does.
What's your story for where you come from and what training was like where you come from? So,
you mean like from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So like
from Mexico, yeah.
So I've honestly got into training when I was here already. Because I came to Jersey when I was 19, and then I've always liked exercising. Even when I was in Mexico, like I would do it. My mom would have like a treadmill in the house, and like that's the only thing I knew how to do was like run and like crunches. I think I told you this before.
Oh, so you started running.
I started with running. So like
Yeah.
that's why I think I love running. And also like subconsciously, I feel like it started because of my mom, because like I would see her run. Because back then it would be like she well, you know, moms would be like, oh, like I want to lose weight, whatever. So like her way of doing it was like going for runs.
Right.
So I remember she would take me to the park, and then she would go on her runs. And so eventually when I was growing up and like I hit my teenage years, I was going through a phase where I was like, oh, I want to lose weight, you know, because I guess we all go through that.
Either lose weight or build muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, at that time, it was just more like I just wanted to lose weight. I was probably already skinny or thin or whatever, but I just wanted to lose weight.
Right.
So I started running because that's what I knew what to do. And then they did open a gym like around the corner of my house, like in Mexico with my parents. And I went and I started boxing because they had boxing, and it was like a lot of fun.
What age was that?
I think I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13, 14.
And then I remember the owner, I would go with my best friend. And then I remember the owner would come up to us, and then he would be like, you know, you girls should lift, like you should do weights. And I said this at one point where I was like, me and her looked at each other like, oh no, like we don't want to look bulky, like we don't want to build like muscle like that, like what are we gonna look like, you know? And then so we ignored him, and then I just started doing boxing and just running and whatever. And I didn't really start lifting until I came here to Jersey, because again, that was like when I was in middle school in Mexico, because I've been growing up like back and forth, like between here and then went to Mexico, lived there until I was done with high school. So I did middle school and high school there, and then I came here. So in high school, like again, I would be on and off, and again, it was just running, like always just running.
You'd run some, not run some.
Yeah. And then that was pretty much it. And then when I came here, so I was an au pair. And the family I was with, like they gave me a pass to RWJ. And then I would only go to the gym to run, which is such a waste. And that's why when I have like onboardings and like, or I meet with people, I'm like, if you're already paying for your membership, like learn how to use the equipment, because, you know, like you want to make the most out of your membership, like what you're paying for. You don't want to just come and be like, oh, I just used the elliptical and went home. Because honestly, that was my case. Like I would always just go to the gym.
But they didn't have a treadmill at the family's house, right?
No, they didn't.
Right.
But RWJ was like super close. It was like 5 minutes from there.
So when you got there, you just were running, just like you have always known to start.
Yes.
At first, you were just running.
Yeah, I would just run, you know. And that was it. And eventually, and then after RWJ, I actually joined Retro. And then, like, again, I would go and I would run. And I remember just, like, running and, like, peeking over the weight, like, where the weights were. And, like, I would see, like, these, like, bulky men and, like...
And you heard the voice of that gym owner in Mexico telling you should lift when you were 13. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, right? And then I was just, like, I would peek over. And then I remember seeing, like, a kettlebell. And I'm like, wow, like, I wonder what that's for. Like, I don't know. I was just so, like, I didn't know anything, you know? So I would run and kind of try to see, like, what people were doing. But, like, I never had the confidence to, like, enter the weight room. This is why I do understand, like, a lot of my clients and just anybody in general who steps into the gym. Like, it is intimidating. You know, you see all this equipment, all these tools, and you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So I remember feeling that until then eventually I met somebody that he looked like, you know, like he lifted. So I was like, you, like, teach me. And
found a mentor almost.
Yeah, like initially. So he did help me. He showed me how to, you know, do some exercises with the weights and with machines. And even some core exercises. And after
That's
that,
cool.
and I loved it. I loved how it felt, because that was the beginning of my weightlifting journey.
Yeah.
And then that boosted my confidence to start, like, doing more research on, well, not boosted my confidence for the research, boosted my confidence to go into a weight room and use machines, because then I felt like I knew what I was doing, you know?
Right.
Because I think that's what happens. Like, a lot of people, like, don't enter that side of the gym because they just feel like, what if I'm not doing this right, you know, or like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to hurt myself or whatever.
When you don't know what you're doing, then you're apprehensive and, like, scared. But if you know what you're doing, there's less fear, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So So then I started doing research on like different exercises, and then that's how it just started.
Started weightlifting.
And I wait, was that mine?
Sometimes
That was
my
mine,
watch
right?
goes off. It's random.
It
though.
was mine though.
It was
Did
yours.
Okay.
Siri randomly picks things up.
Yeah, I didn't even feel like I pushed, or maybe I moved my wrist.
Probably didn't.
I talk with my hands a lot. Am I talking with my hands right now? I don't know.
You might be. I do too.
They say Italians talk with their hands, but I'm Mexican. I talk with my
Fully
hands too.
Mexican.
So.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Anyways.
But so you were weightlifting then?
Then
You
I
started
started
getting-
yeah, and then I
yeah.
started getting into it, and then I just really loved it and realized that it was like my passion. To be honest, like I'm like really passionate about it. And the thing is, like, I didn't know. This is what I like about living here in the U.S. Like, there's so many different career options and opportunities, and like just different things. And I remember somebody told me, they're like, "Oh, well, they have an exercise science program in Mercer." And I was like, what? Like, you can study exercise here? Like, I was so mind blown that existed. Because
cool.
in Mexico, it's very, like, doctor, lawyer, like, you know, like your typical careers
Right. Like
that are needed.
Yeah.
But but here it's just, like, there's so many different things. And I feel like nowadays, like, people are just coming up with different careers, like, even online and, you know, different things.
Yeah.
So when they told me that about that program, I was just like mind blown that existed. So I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna look into it. And then like,
You were hooked.
yeah, I was hooked. Yeah. And then initially I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist. So that's how like I started. And the thing is, because I changed my career like 3 times. I remember even the advisor, like the 3rd time I went, he was like, okay, you're gonna change it again. And then I changed it, and then he was like, all right, see you next semester. Like saying like you're gonna change it again.
For a 4th time.
Yeah.
But it stuck the 3rd time.
Yeah, it stuck the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I think it's hard to know like what you want to do like straight out
For
of
sure.
high school. So yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and like I went through like a lot of phases of thinking like, okay, maybe I want to do this, or maybe I'm good at this, you know. But one of them, I think, what was it? I think one was like education, like to be a teacher, because I was like, I mean, I'm good with kids or whatever.
Right.
But it just like it didn't feel like that's really what I wanted to do, you know.
Right.
And then I think I did business.
So education, you're like, no. Business, you're like, yeah, business.
And I think I took one class, and it was interesting, but it's just, which honestly, it's not a bad thing to study business. It's good.
No.
Yeah, it's, you know.
It's broad. It
yes.
covers a wide range.
Exactly.
with that
Like,
degree.
you can use it for a lot of different purposes.
So you're like, you just weren't feeling business like most people.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I wanted more, you know. I feel like you can always learn business, you know. So I
the
kind of
skills
wanted
of business. Yeah.
So I wanted to like specialize more on something different. So I found the exercise science program, and then again, I thought I wanted to do physical therapy, and then I kind of realized that I liked more like the preventive and like the training aspect of like movement and exercising and working with people, rather than the rehab part of it.
Right, because when you're a physical therapist, you're getting them after they've been through an injury or surgery. Right?
And I like the part of preparing them to be less prone to injury. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I realized, the thing is like, it's really a whole journey. Like you're learning about yourself like every month, every year. And then you're kind of like, all right, this is what I thought I wanted. Like, now I don't want that, you know?
Yeah.
So
then you chose exercise science and you studied that and it just clicked.
yeah, I liked it. Like I enjoyed it. And then, yeah, it clicked. Like it just felt right. And, so I did get my associate's degree in kinesiology and exercise science.
Nice.
And then after that, I got my certification, and then that's when I started working at RWJ.
When you were studying though for exercise science, did you know you wanted to become a personal trainer after?
Yeah, like I knew I wanted to do it. Like I don't think did I wait after. I think I did it like towards the last semester. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like it's something that, I mean, not that anybody can do it. Like anybody who wants to do it can do it. You know, you don't have to wait to finish a whole career.
It doesn't mean you're good, but like
That's another thing too. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of.
Yeah, nowadays they're cropping up like grass.
Yeah.
Personal trainers.
Yeah, they are.
But so you were studying, and then you took your test, passed. It's my bird clock.
Oh.
Every
Nice.
hour is a bird. I'm pretty sure every episode has
It's
a
been
bird
going
going off. So you got certified. And then how'd you link it back to RWJ to work?
Well, I lived really close to it. And also, I like to strive for, like, good gyms, like,
Yeah.
good places, you know. I mean, nothing against, like, Retro or Crunch, but, like, I would just not go there to work, to be honest. And then RWJ, I like the population there. And also, it was going to challenge me because I was going to be working, I mean, one, for the first time with people, like, training them. But, like, there was just such a wide range of population. Which taught me a lot because, you know, like, I mean, there's maturing in everything, right? So there's definitely maturing in training. And I just remember, like, how I first started and, like, my approach, like, my philosophy, I guess, or, like, my mindset with training people. And I matured. I grew, or where I saw the growth was that not everybody's training with the same goal that you think they are. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, in RWJ, there's a lot of, like, seniors, like, a lot of, you know, older people.
Yeah.
So they're really just there to keep it moving, you know, and just for, like, to be independent and just, like, build stronger muscles and bones and everything. You know, they're not really there like, oh, I want to get jacked or, like, I want to have an hourglass figure, you know? So, like, everybody's training for different purposes. And, like, I feel like in the beginning, because, like, I was so young, like, I would train people and then just be like, oh, yeah, like, you felt that burn, like, you know, like that. And then I remember one of my clients, and he said it very nicely. It just clicked in my head because he was like, yeah, well, I'm not here to feel like, I'm not training to feel the burn, you know? It was like kind of saying, like, I'm training to be functional, you know? So I liked it. I liked it that he put me in my place without knowing. Because I was like, oh, you're right.
Because you didn't think about it before.
No, because I was very, like, bodybuilding type. Like, no, like, let's go 15 lunges. Let's go, you know what I'm saying? Feel the burn.
Active, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, maybe they just really need 10 or 12. You know, you don't really need to, like,
Not
train them for a
everyone.
volume.
Right,
Like,
till failure.
Exactly.
Mike Cook.
And he's, like, 60 years old.
And you're like, come on, 3 more. Failure. He's like, what's failure? Like, come on.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, it just taught me, you know?
Yeah.
And now, obviously, I approach it completely different.
In Mike Crookshank's episode, he talked about Jeff, who was someone who worked at Princeton, and he has a quote that goes something along the lines of, we work out in the gym to make what we do outside of the gym better.
Yes. So I say that a lot to my clients too, because I'll tell them, like, whatever you do here is going to translate into your daily life. And I see, I have actually, her name is Robin. She's 74 years old. I think she's, like, my oldest client right now.
Nice.
And I love her. She's great. But, like, when she first started training with me, she was just, like, she was fine, you know? It's not like she couldn't move or anything. But there were things, for example, there's, like, a lat pull down that, the one that has, like, the 2 handles, and she wasn't able to sit down and get up from it, right? Whereas you think it's something so simple, like, you know? But for her, it was, like, scary. You know, she was like, no, I can't
that
get
one
up.
is scary. It's like you got to get your legs under the rollers.
And then to get up, she wanted to, like, hang from it to pull herself up, but, like, you know... So that was initially, and then she was really scared of it. She's like, no, like, you know, that one scares me a lot. She would say that. So I was like, all right, we're not going to do this, like, right now, you know. So 2 months after training, like, doing other stuff, I told her, like, okay, let's try this again. Like, and she was a little scared because not that she almost fell, but, like, she was, like, all over the place hanging from it.
I've seen people fall. I saw someone fall.
I actually had one client that one time fell on me, but, like, it was
on your
not
tailbone.
bad. Yeah. Well, she kind of, like, just went down like that. It was a little funny. I mean, she laughed too. It's not that, you know.
As long as she laughed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
But so
she's been training Robin and getting better.
Yeah. So when she tried it again, she was, like, a little, like, you know, a little scared. But then when she was gonna stand up, she just stood up like nothing. And then she was like, and again, it's something so simple, but again, the more we age, like, the more, you know, you age, those little movements are so crucial and important for them.
Right.
So she was like, wow, like, I would not be able to. And it's so funny because, like, every training session, she ends saying, I wouldn't be able to do that in August because in August is when I started training her.
Right.
So
That's like her
she'll
thing.
always say that. She'll always be like, oh, I wouldn't have been able to do this 6 months ago or
That's
7 months
big.
ago, which is big. Yes, it is
Yeah.
huge. And that's what I'm saying. And then she'll be like, oh, like now when I turn over in bed, like my shoulder doesn't hurt. Like, again, little things like that.
Right.
I have another client, she's like 58, I think, and she likes gardening, right? So she was telling me the other day that she was gardening and she was able to like just go on about her gardening without feeling like aches and pains or anything. And then she was done and she was good. She's like, whereas before I would kind of have to be more careful, I would be more slower, you know? So she was like, it was just like pretty amazing to see the difference that after I've been training, because again, she's been training with me for months.
Just more mobile.
Yeah.
Feels mobile. Joints feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool to see that, you know, with people.
Yeah. So their lives outside of the gym get better
For
because of what they do in the gym.
in that 1 hour.
Yeah. Over course of time. That goes to your point. Not everyone's like us where we love exercise and like that's what we do.
Yeah.
Some people just have to do it. So their lives can be like pretty good.
Yeah. And that's what I say during the onboardings. I'm just kind of like, yeah, and I'll explain to them what they need to do, and then I tell them, and you just have to do this for the rest of your life. I was like, I know it doesn't sound very like nice or appealing, but that's just
Yeah.
straight up the truth.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, yeah, I know, like so depressive. Like, what? You should be more excited that you get to do it. But I guess so. You know, they're like, yeah.
They'll be like, but not with you, right? Because like I can't afford 30 years with you.
I know exactly. Yeah. But again, that goes back to
maybe a
just-
couple years.
Yeah, that goes back to making the investment of learning.
It's-
You know,
yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah, that's an important investment. Is your body? You only
It
get
is.
one.
Exactly. And I feel like, yeah, people don't really, they neglect it a lot. Yeah.
It might just not. Yeah, some of them are just not having the knowledge of why it's important.
Right.
Like I know I have to go to a gym, but like why?
And it's interesting what gets people to start, you know, like what makes them start going. Like I have a client right now, a new client, he's actually French and he's just telling me that he never really works out or anything. No, he used to not work out at all. But he says that his boss has been like inspiring him to work out. Not directly, not that his boss is telling him like, oh, you should work out. But he sees his boss like being active and, you know, doing sports. So he's felt like, okay, well, maybe I want to do it too. That's why I feel like in a way we're all influencers. Like in this era of influencers, I feel like we're all influencers, you know, because you don't know like what you're doing, how it's impacting somebody else that's watching you, whether it's in person or through social media. So for example, for him, his boss is being an influence for him, you know, which I think it's really cool. Yeah.
We are all influencers.
Yeah, I feel like we are.
Yeah.
Like your neighbor could be your influencer. Like, I don't know.
Definitely.
Your friends. Like you can see somebody at the gym that probably doesn't even know you, but you saw them doing something. You're like, oh, like I would like to get to that. Or like, you know.
Do you think about that when you work out? First off, there's always this thing as a trainer when you work out at the gym you work at. It's like a different dynamic with people seeing you. You're like on display. People know you work there.
Yeah.
But do you ever think about, like, I have to set an example? Or are you just like, nah, I'm doing my thing?
Yeah.
Take what
I
you
don't
want
care.
from it. Take what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel any pressure of like, oh, like I have to do this or like people are watching. Honestly, no. Like I just lock in.
Like
and,
Turkish get-ups with a kettlebell.
Yeah, I mean
Like
that's
that.
great. Whoever, I don't do that. I haven't done it. Maybe one day I'll try it, but it's not like
Yeah.
I'm super interested in doing it.
Right.
But I see people doing them. But no, I just, you know, I just do my workout.
Yeah.
And it's cool though because well, one thing when I'm working out, like you said, it's a different dynamic when you're working out and the place that you work at because sometimes people will come up to you or like they want to make eye contact with you or like I try to avoid that because to be honest, like I only have so much time to get my workout in. So I'm obviously nice and like I'll be like, oh, hi, and that's it. But then just like kind of keep it moving. But you do get a lot of like, oh, like now it's your turn to work out, or like, oh, I have never saw you work out before. You know what I'm saying? Or like with me, I feel like people feel surprised because like, I mean, I'm not huge, you know, I'm like, I feel like I look like small, but then I can lift pretty heavy, or I can do certain things, and they'll be like, oh wow, you know, like they
she
get
can
impressed.
do it both. I see her running, and now she's deadlifting.
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool. I think I'm lucky in the sense that I like both, because a lot of people don't like cardio at all. They only like to lift, or other people don't like to lift and they only like cardio. So it's cool when you like both things, or you enjoy the process of both things.
Yeah, that's rare to like both.
I actually don't like seeing, like, for example, on Instagram especially a lot, like you'll see somebody who has like a great physique, right? And then they'll say like, oh, like I don't do cardio, I just lift weights, blah blah blah, like kind of like saying like you don't need to do cardio. But the thing is, that's your body, you know. Maybe your body just responds well to just weightlifting, and then you don't like cardio, right? I feel like in a way we all need cardio anyways, even if it's like 10 minutes. But then I feel like people, their takeaway is like, oh, I don't have to do cardio, you know, like. But I feel like everybody is different, so you shouldn't just go off of what you're seeing on social media. Just because somebody has a physique and they're saying, oh, I don't do cardio, then it's like, oh, then I don't need to do cardio.
It's like a responsibility you have if you have influence, and if you have, I don't know, for lack of a better word, a nice body, and people follow you, you have a responsibility to not lead people astray, because they're going to listen to you, right? Like if you have an amazing physique and you're like, 20 eggs a day, you have to do it.
Yeah, and people will do that.
People are going to buy 2 cartons of eggs.
Exactly.
And start eating eggs. Yeah. Yeah, but cardio, I agree, it's important. Heart health, right?
Yeah, it is.
But it sucks.
It does sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead everyone astray.
I mean, honestly, when it's like me, like I have a love and hate relationship with sprints. I love sprinting, but at the same time, it's like, they make me want to throw up at the end, you know, like of how hard you push yourself. But it's awesome. It's like, I don't know. I guess I just like to like torture myself in that way. But
would you rather do torturous sprints to where like it's tough, or would you rather go distance, but you can go super light for your pace?
I don't know. I feel like it would depend on my mood, but
yeah, it would.
I like the sprint. Yeah, I like sprint. Like I like feeling challenged. You know.
I get that.
Even when I'm running distance, I try to like do mini sprints in between until I'm all gassed up.
You're just bored.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, come on.
Yeah. Just like if I sprint, like it kind of pumps me up again, and then like yeah. So
Yeah,
I like
cardio's
both.
important.
What do you like, more distance or sprints?
I don't like. I run for speed half the time, but I hate it. Like I would much rather just go forever and see how long I could last, rather than like, all right, you have to run a 6:50 pace.
But you have a discipline with like your speed.
Yeah.
So me not like I'll just, unless
I
set my mind to it, then yeah. But mostly I just do it because I enjoy it. And the one place I really enjoy running is Veterans Park. Have you ever ran in Veterans Park?
In South Brunswick?
No, it's in Hamilton.
No, I haven't.
No.
It's nice.
It's nice, and I like it because it's not like a flat. I don't like running flat. I get bored too easily.
You like incline?
I like inclines and turns and just like feeling like different elevations.
Oh, incline.
I feel like I want to burp.
Incline is...
I love incline too.
Spices it up.
I don't think... I need to find a place where there's like hills or something, because I would like to do sprints uphill. Yeah.
I don't know how you enjoy that.
I do.
You like getting exhausted.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like I've always liked that stuff, though.
It's fun. Mm-hmm. Do you have a majority of females for clients, or is it like a split?
Let me see. I feel like it's a split.
It's a good split.
Yeah.
What do you find a lot with females? Is it a lot of weight loss?
A lot of weight loss, yeah.
Yeah.
Weight loss, but also building a stronger lower body too, and core. I mean, honestly, just strengthening their whole body.
Right.
Because sometimes you'll get like the ones that they don't need to lose a lot of weight, but they're weak. You know, you don't want to be weak. Like,
right.
You want to be strong. I want all of my clients to be strong. So, but I do see that the majority of them are always like, oh, I want to lose weight. Yeah, I don't think I have anybody that actually like wants to gain weight, like in muscle, obviously. For men, I have, it's weight loss also. And just like, they just want to move better. Most clients, they just have desk jobs, so they sit a lot. And so they have like a lot of like hip complaints and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then right now I have one client that needs to increase his weight. Yeah. He wants to and he needs to.
Yeah. Do you see a difference for males and females? Like, I was talking to my sister and we were having the conversation of females have a lot of digestion stuff, right? Whether it's gluten or lactose or acid reflux or retaining weight like in the pelvis.
Yeah.
Like, do you see that? Do you have any advice for... Do you see it's more common for...
It is more common for females for sure. Because like I've gone through like those issues.
Yeah.
Than men. For men, they never really tell me like any issues with their stomach. But yeah, it's more the females, not that you mentioned it. I had one lady, not that she's a client, but she was more like an intro to personal training or something like that. Or an onboarding, I don't remember. But the point is that she was telling me that she has a lot of like gastric issues and like she feels like she eats something and then she gets inflamed. And I've been through that also as well. And I mean, I'm no doctor or anything, but I did have a recommendation for her. I told her that she could try celery juicing. Have you ever heard of celery juicing?
I've heard people drinking it.
Yeah.
But not sure why.
Yes. So, I mean, apparently it has a lot of benefits. I mean, there's like a whole book on it and like a lot of information on social media. But one of the takeaways that I got from like reading the research was that it has properties that heal the mucus lining inside your intestines and your stomach. So it helps like with inflammation and all of those issues. So I told her, because she was telling me that she was on medicine and then that wasn't working. And like, because at the end of the day, she wasn't really like going for the root cause. So she was just like using cover-ups and to cover up the symptoms. But she's like, yeah, it just like it bothers me. So then it like makes me struggle with exercise because I'm uncomfortable. So then I told her, I shared a little bit of my story with her. And I said, well, you know, I've also had those type of issues. And there was a month, I think it was during COVID, I remember. I did celery juicing 30 days straight on an empty stomach. On an empty stomach, 16 ounces. So
it's like a water bottle.
Yeah. So like it was the first thing in the morning that I would drink, not even water and like not coffee. It would be that.
Did you have it ready? Or did you have to like?
No, I would juice it in the morning.
Okay.
It was during COVID, so I was like home.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
Right.
So me initially I did it because back then I was having really bad acne, like very bad acne, and
Did you read that it was good for your skin?
So I read that it was good for your skin and like like it makes your skin glow. I don't know. At that point I was just trying to try everything I could. So I did that. I feel like it did help with like inflammation in my acne a little bit, but like the thing that I noticed the biggest difference was my stomach because I used to I'm Mexican, so I eat a lot of spicy, and it got to a point where like I couldn't eat spicy anymore because my stomach would hurt. Coffee, I could not drink coffee. So anything that was like irritating.
Why live?
Exactly, like all the good stuff. Like I couldn't eat it without hurting. So I wasn't eating spicy. I wasn't drinking coffee, and then I was just doing all of this because of my skin. But then at the end of the month, I noticed like if I would put a little bit of spicy or hot sauce on my food, like my stomach was fine, like it didn't hurt. And then I was like, wait, let me drink coffee. Like let me try this out again. And I could drink coffee and like it was fine. So then like little by little I noticed that I could eat certain things and drink certain things and my stomach wasn't hurting anymore. Because I don't know, I used to have these issues where like I would go out to eat and I would just instantly blow up and my stomach would hurt so much and I was in pain. Not even spice. It could just be anything. Things. Sometimes random things. Yeah. But that's because I guess I had something going on, something deeper. I never really went to the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor here. No offense. I just feel like it's so complicated. So I didn't really do any of that. I just tried to go more like a natural route, I guess you can say.
That helped for those 30 days. Do you do it anymore?
So, and then you can keep going with it. It's not like 30 days and then that's it, you know.
Right.
I tried to do it again. Probably like a couple months ago, probably like 2-3 months ago. I probably did it for like 2-3 weeks. So it helps with digestion and your stomach feels good. I just wanted to get back on it because I just remember how good it felt. But you just have to be very consistent with it. And I stopped the consistency. But that would be my advice.
Celery juice,
celery juice. Just from personal experience. And again, like.
Just juicing the celery.
Just juicing. And there is research on it. So if people are interested
I've heard about it,
they can look into it.
It helps your stomach lining. Yeah, I feel like digestion issues can definitely stop you from exercise.
They do. Because I've had like gastritis and colitis. So like I would have flare-ups. So I remember years ago, probably like 3 years ago, I was at Team 85, you know Team 85 in the gym. So I remember, so stress is a big factor for you to like have those stomach issues. And
they say it's like a second brain. You feel the anxiety in your gut, right?
And at least in my case, like I would flare up like this. So I remember, I think I was going through like some stressful moments in my life back then. And I was getting a lot of consistent flare-ups with like my stomach. So it would stem from here. So it would look like I was like 4 months, 5 months bloated? Pregnant. Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember it was hurting a little bit, and I still went to the gym because I wanted to work out. And the thing is, so working out is great, right? Exercise is great, but at the end of the day, it's also stress to your body.
More stress.
So if you're having digestive issues, you do have to listen to your body and not push yourself too much with the weight. Whereas I didn't listen to myself because I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, which was squat heavy. And I just remember, like, I was already hurting a little bit. And then when I squatted and I was done, I just felt like a huge flare up. And my stomach was hurting. My stomach was, like, huge. And I was like, I'm not even trying to hide this. Like, I'm not even going to suck it in. I don't care.
Think about all the bracing you did. And all the compression with the weight on your back.
No, it was bad. And I remember after that, like, I wanted to keep pushing through, but I'm like, this is not okay. Like, I shouldn't, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it does disrupt your exercise routine. And I remember I would have to, like take it slow and go lighter and, like, not my cup of tea, but, you know, because I like to go heavier. So, but you do have to take steps back. But I do think the celery juice is, like, a good step in the right direction to like helping your digestive issues. Then there's ginger, you know.
Ginger's good.
Ginger's good.
Ginger's really good. There's Tums.
Tums, yeah.
To mask the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Like I never really mastered. Like I just wanted to like get to the bottom of it, you know.
Yeah. Your preventative.
Yes.
Interest.
And then now it's like I don't have those issues anymore.
That's good. You somehow beat it.
Yeah. I like healed it in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe it could come back like if I don't eat spicy like that anymore though. And I don't drink like a bunch of alcohol anymore like I used to. So I just feel like it was like a combination of things that led me to having stomach issues.
And that stress.
So stress.
Yeah.
And then a lot of drinking in the past. And then like all the hot sauce and all the like spiciness.
Right.
Yeah. It was just like a bomb for my stomach.
Yeah.
So.
Damn. Well, I'm glad it's better.
Yeah.
Because workouts with stomach problems are debilitating.
They are.
Like if your ankle hurts, that's one thing. Your neck, it's one thing. But your stomach forces you to like keel over.
But going back to clients, that was just the one person that said that to me. Other than that, they're all
not a lot.
Not digestion. A
lot. That's good.
Yeah. No.
What is, before we wrap up, could people find you on Instagram?
Yes. So
I saw you have a new fitness page.
I do, yeah. I was like going back and forth for the longest whether I should just build up on my page. But I do like sharing, like I like to travel and I like to share like other random stuff or like memes or whatever. So I just wanted to keep that more like as my personal one. And then like whoever is interested in like my fitness stuff, then I created a different account for that.
That makes sense.
And I feel like I've been wanting to do that for the longest time, but I feel like I've had like imposter syndrome for the longest, and I'm
We
still
all have
working
that. Yeah.
on like it's always like a work in progress, like getting over that. But I was like, you know what? Like I just might as well start now.
Yeah.
And like the comparison does creep up on me sometimes, but I'm good at like handling it because I mean nowadays people have a lot of good like content and like, you know, like
Yeah.
the way their videos, like everything's so cool. It looks so cool. And then like I'm like starting from the bottom, you know, but you just
gotta
have
start somewhere.
exactly.
As long as you have good content.
Yeah, so I'm okay with it. Like I'm glad I did it separately.
It looks cool. I like the content. What's the?
I think I only have like 4 posts on it, but
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen your personal page has been like
it has
that
some
page,
stuff.
kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
a part of your page. What's it called?
So it's at my fitness one is
Your
at
fitness.
Karina Nuval. So Nuval.
Karina with a K, Nuval.
Karina Nuval. Yeah.
And they'll find your fitness page.
And then,
Dope. That's awesome.
yes.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
That
thank
was
you for
quick.
having me.
A quick,
Yeah.
almost hour.
Good.
And every guest found it.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
having me.
For sure.